What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Between the Lines, Mybookie sports betting show for college football and NFL. Not too much college football this week. We only have one FBS bowl game. A lot of FCS playoffs going on, some great ball there, but we're just betting the FBS on here. And then we go over to the NFL slate where we got some decent action over there. We got a couple bets. Let's get into it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's roll. But right before we get straight into that, a little disclaimer is that some of the lines that I'm talking about on here, they might move from now until the game. So make sure to check Mybookie social medias on our X, our Instagram, our Twitter. You get the point. They're all down below. Make sure to go and check on there if any of the picks do change. Hopefully they don't. But let's start off with college football, where we only have one game this week, and our record on the season after now the regular season is over is sitting at 55-49. Not too shabby after not a good week on Championship Saturday last week. My God, it was pretty brutal for us. But the one bowl game that we do have is right here. We have Boise State going into Washington. I believe this is the LA Bowl. So this is at SoFi. I'm 99% sure. Washington, they're minus 9.5 in this game. The over-under is sitting at 52.5. And look, I'm going to keep it simple. Boise, they had themselves a hell of a season this year, man. You would think losing Asher Genti, obviously, to the NFL, losing a little bit of other talent, that they would have taken a step back. And they kind of did, but at the same time, they were competitive. They were fantastic. They had a great year. But Washington plays a different brand of football. This team has been slept on literally the entire season. It's unbelievable to see how much the Washington Huskies have been slept on. They were barely even ranked this year. Give me Washington minus 9.5. I think they win this game by 14 points. And it kind of stinks, but that's going to do it for our college football picks for this week. Next week, we have a absolutely loaded college football show with the first round of the college football playoff. I am so excited for that. It's going to be so electric watching all of those games. But let's go over to the NFL, where after, once again, a bad week last week, my God, it was the worst weekend I've ever had sports betting in my life. We are sitting at even on the season, which actually isn't the end of the world. We haven't won any money. We haven't lost any money. Let's change that this weekend, and let's win some money. And that all begins with the Baltimore Ravens going into Cincinnati against the Bengals. The Bengals are plus 2.5. The over-under is sitting at 51.5. Look, when Lamar came back to the Ravens, I thought, you know what? The AFC North is pretty wide open, man. They got a shot to go out there and win this division and slip into the playoffs and maybe cause some controversy. Now I'm sitting here today saying, my God, this Ravens team looks absolutely dead. After that loss to the Steelers last week, Lamar Jackson is just not playing a Lamar Jackson brand of football right now whatsoever. It's kind of heartbreaking to watch. John Harbaugh is probably going to get fired after this year. He might go to the new opening at Michigan, but right now, I don't really know anybody who wants anything to do with that school. And looking at Cincinnati on the other side of things, man, I love the Bengals, dude. I absolutely love the Bengals. I love Joe Burrow in this offense. Give me Cincy plus 2.5 to get a big win at home for them, even though their season is pretty much wrapped up as well. Then make our way over to our next noon game. We have the New York Jets going into Jacksonville against the Jaguars. The Jags, who are rolling right now, are minus 13.5. The over-under is sitting at 41.5. And look, I've said it on this show before. If you've watched, you know my strategy in games like this. The Jags are more than a 10-point favorite. How is this game going to go? It's going to go one of two ways. Number one, the Jags are going to blow the Jets out. Let's say the final score is 35-3. That goes under. Let's say the Jets somehow keep it a close game. Almost 90% of the time, when you're a big underdog, how do you keep a game close? Sloppy defensive football. Somehow Trevor Lawrence has a couple turnovers. Somehow the Jets have a couple turnovers as well, but the game stays close and it's a low-scoring defensive battle. I absolutely love the under here at 41.5. I really don't like touching the spread either way because, as I said, I see one of those two realities, and I actually could see the Jets keeping this a close game, surprisingly enough, but I love the under here at 41.5. Easy. Then for our last nooner of the show, we go over to the Cardinals going into Houston against the red hot Texans. Oh my God, that defense is playing unbelievable football. Will Anderson, hello, welcome to the league, even though he has been here and he's been pretty damn good. But really now, welcome to the league, man. Holy shit, he is unbelievable to watch, and they're at home against this shitty Cardinals team that just really doesn't know what's going on. My God, it's a big mess over in Arizona. Who's going to be their quarterback next year? That's the real question. The over-under is sitting at 42.5 on this game, and that's what I'm eyeing down. I do like the Texans -9.5. Don't get me wrong. But I really love that under at 42.5, man. That Texans defense, I don't see how they let up a touchdown against this Cardinals team, to be completely honest with you. I think it's going to be an incredibly low-scoring game, or the Texans are just going to blow the doors off of this Cardinals team. My God, the Texans are humming right now at the perfect time. Then we go over to 325, where we have a fantastic game right here. The Lions going into LA against the Rams. It's always a good time when Matt Stafford is playing against the Detroit Lions, and that's exactly what we have going on right here. The Rams are -6 in this one, and the over-under is sitting at 55 points. I do like the over. I do like it. I don't love it. I do like the over because I do think this is going to be a very high-scoring game. But the one pick that I really like from here is the Rams -6. Nobody in the NFL is playing better football than the LA Rams right now. Did you see the show that they put on last week? Oh my goodness, it was unbelievable. They're the number 1 seed in the NFC for a reason. They know how to score. Nobody can keep up with them. Matt Stafford is playing at a crazy level this year. It's actually wild to see. Devontae Adams, hello, he's playing incredible as well. I love the Rams here -6. I think the Lions are going to keep it a dogfight for a while, but then once we get into that late third quarter, I don't know if they could keep up with how good this Rams team is playing. Now for our next 325 game, we have the Green Bay Packers heading into Denver against the Broncos. The Broncos are +2.5 at home, which is a little bit shocking, and I kind of like the sprinkle there. I kind of do. Once again, we're talking defense again. That Broncos defense is unbelievable. The over-under is sitting at 42.5, and that Packers team, man, I say it almost every single week. With that Packers team, you don't know which squad you're going to get. You're either getting the unbelievable Packers offense that can't be stopped, or you're getting the Packers offense that's going to put up 10 points and call it a day, kind of like they did against Cleveland, kind of like they did against a couple other teams as well. And that's the Packers team that I'm leaning towards that we see this week. And that's the brand of football that the Broncos play. They keep it a tight game. Bo Nix goes out there. Maybe he'll throw an interception or two, but I know that this game is going to go under. We love the unders this week. That is our third under of the show, which is unbelievable, man. I can't believe that. I haven't bet this many unders in my life, but I think it's going to be an under Sunday. The unders are going to be slamming all across the league. Another under that I like is in the Bears game, where it's going to be a real feel of -15 degrees outside. Both teams are going to be running the football the entire game. I like the under there as well. It is under Sunday officially. We're just going to dub it that at this point. Take the under. And then lastly, we go over to Sunday Night Football, where we have the Minnesota Vikings in 9 going into Dallas against the Cowboys. The Cowboys are -5.5. The over-under is sitting at 47.5. I thought this Vikings team was dead in the water, and their season really is. I mean, the NFC is way too competitive. They're basically done here. But they put on a show last week versus this Commanders team, which really makes me question, is it that the Commanders are really that bad? And Jaden Daniels was healthy for a bit until he hurt his elbow again. But are the Commanders really that bad, or are the Vikings starting to turn a corner a little bit? Maybe he's starting to figure it out. I really don't think so, and I think if the Commanders were that bad. I love the Cowboys here, -5.5. Dak Prescott, one of my favorite quarterbacks in the National Football League. He is going to put on a show out there. The only concern that I have in this is that Cowboys defense is literally Swiss cheese. But I do like the Cowboys -5.5. I think it's almost guaranteed they win by at least a touchdown in this game. But that is going to do it for my NFL picks this week as we have the Bengals plus 2.5 versus the Ravens at home. We have the under in the Jets-Jags game in Jacksonville at 41.5. We have the under in the Cardinals-Texans game at 42.5. We have the Rams -6 in LA versus the Lions. We have the under in the Packers-Broncos game at 42.5. And wrapping it up in Dallas on Sunday Night Football against the Minnesota Vikings, we have the Cowboys -5.5. Thank you all so much for watching this week's Between the Lines. I really do appreciate it. I know it's a shorter show than usual because we didn't have as much college football to really get into here, but don't worry. Next week is going to be an absolute banger show with all of the college football games. I can't wait to talk about it. And also maybe we'll chuck a couple bowl games in there as well. We don't have to only talk about the college football playoff. And we also have a full NFL slate on top of that. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be great. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I will see you guys next Friday. Deuces.